Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be my review for Awkward Season 4, Episode 18, Girls Roll. And I thought this episode was another great episode, and probably, in my opinion, the best episode of the season. I really enjoyed it. I loved all the storylines that were going on in it. I especially loved the focus we got on Gabby in this episode. You know, Gabby's a character who we haven't seen too much of. We know that she was playing very hard to get with Matty, but we actually find out more about her in this episode, which I thought was really good. And this episode definitely confirms that Awkward is not going the Eva route at all, which I'm very happy with. And let's just get to it, because I thought this episode was definitely really, really good. So we see Lacey. She is very nervously chugging coffee, and Jenna comes out watching for the mail, and they're both waiting on her college approvals, and Lacey says she's waiting on a gift for Kevin, and that reminds, Jenna that she needs to get a gift for Matty. I love the way they started that, obviously. You can see that Lacey really cares about Jenna, and basically Jenna does give Matty a gift. Basically it's Matty's 18th birthday, and she hands Matty a cupcake with a candle. However, Gabby has a group of cheerleaders singing to him, and a cupcake carousel Gabby made, a huge, she just went all out. If you want to talk about, all-out presents, Gabby literally went all out, and she also gives him Lakers tickets, and Jenna's feels very pathetic after this. She watches her vending machine cupcake hit the dirt, and she obviously is very, she feels like an idiot, definitely, and it makes sense why. So, she is definitely getting kind of jealous of Gabby, and you can kind of tell that Jenna thinks that Gabby is basically just pretending to be nice to her. And I can see why she's thinking this, because of what just happened with Eva/Amber. At first, Jenna and Tamara thought that she was their friend, and they were friends with her for a while, and then eventually they found out this girl was actually a bitch, and she was hiding a lot. So, Jenna's very sketchy when it comes to Matty's girlfriends, and it makes sense why she's so sketchy about that, and I like that they are continuing that. Even though I'm very happy that that's off the show, I do like that they are still very mindful of that, and, in terms of, Jenna, it's not so much that Jenna's jealous, I think it's just that she wants to be a good friend to Matty. That's really what it is. She wants to be a good friend to him, and she doesn't want Matty to get hurt, and I like that. So, Gabby ends up inviting Jenna to a surprise party for Matty, and Jenna says she has plans, and Gabby says she gets if she has plans, and Jenna's now feeling very uncomfortable, and, Jake then runs up and pops a chalk over Matty's face. Basically, he gives him what his present's gonna be. So, Sadie, because of what just happened with Lissa, Lissa's not in this episode, by the way. After Lissa, had that really bad thing with meth and everything, with her, basically, not meth, but Molly, after her, getting addicted to, after her getting high on Molly, she was suspended from school, and because of this, Sadie is now, cheer captain, and she's taking over cheerleading practice, and Tamara tells her she's not in charge. Now, Sadie's cheers is very, mean-spirited, it's kind of like that, ugly alibi cheer. And, this is in, a huge brawl and everything. It was very funny to watch. I always love the competition between Tamara and Sadie. I always love the fighting between them. Always think it's really funny. The funniest, episode of them, in my opinion, is still Indecent Exposure. I thought that's when they had their funniest scenes together. However, this was still great, and I still loved it. They then land in Val's office, who tells them, obviously, this is not cool behavior for seniors, and tells them they have to work together, and that's just hilarious that they have to work together, basically. So Jake takes Matty into, a strip club, and, Jake says it's 18 and over, and they hit the hot food buffet, and are very thrilled about this, because, obviously, they're in a strip club, and if I got a present like that from my best friend, I'd be, ecstatic about it, definitely. So Tamara complains to Jenna that she's got to work for Sadie, and Jenna tells her about Gabby's surprise party for Matty, and Tamara says she threw down the gauntlet, and Jenna has to go. And I agree with Tamara saying, she can't really say no to this. She has to go to it. She shouldn't, suspect things, and she should go to it. And she says it's chicken, and if she doesn't go, Gabby wins by intimidation, and Jenna says this means she has to accept it. So, Jenna comes over and tells her that her plans fell through, so she's coming, and Gabby says the more the merrier. And Gabby, honestly, is acting very weird in this scene. She's calling Jenna Jen, which I don't think anyone has ever called Jenna an Awkward. I don't think I've ever heard anyone call Jenna Jen. I've heard people call Jenna, you know, Jay. I've heard Tamara do that. But I've never heard anyone call Tamara Jen. Call Jenna Jen. I thought that was definitely very interesting. And, you know, she invites Tamara as well, basically. And I love Tamara's, nicknames are so, not a thing. And I love that. And the thing is, I love how hypocritical she's being because, of course, she calls Jenna J all the time. So I thought that was hilarious to watch. So Gabby then asks her to stop by Matty's house after school to help her set up for the party so they can really get to know each other. And Jenna's stunned by this. And Jenna shows up to Matty's after school to help. You know, she doesn't think this is going to go well. She doesn't think that, you know, she pretty much thinks that this is going to be like an Eva situation. And she psychs herself up to deal with Gabby. She rings the bell and finds all of Gabby's friends there too. And the guys say that they would be in math class right now. Basically, you know, we see Jake and Matty again. But instead, they are watching strippers. And they talk about all the things they can do at 18. And I love this scene because, I mean, it's typical senior guy talk. Like, seriously. These are things that, when you're a senior, you want to do. Join the army, vote, and then, of course, smoke. But Jake's like, oh, but don't do that because you know it's going to kill you. I love that Jake said that. I thought that was hilarious. So Matty says he can also find out about his birth parents, which I thought was huge because, of course, that is something that Matty has... We kind of forgot about, actually. I forgot about that whole twist with Matty's birth parents. I thought we were going to find that out in the mid-season finale, but we didn't. And he actually brings that up again. So I thought that was definitely very interesting when he said that. So a pastor is there, too, watching the half-naked girls, and sends the boys over drinks for Matty's birthday. And then Gabby talks sound for the party and suggests Bruno Mars because the first song that Gabby and Matty ever listened to when they were a couple was Bruno Mars, so that's why. So Jenna knows that it's not his groove, but one of the girls says Gabby should do what she likes since she's his girlfriend. And she then caves and tells Gabby that Matty hates hummus, and Gabby tells her friend to take it away and thanks her. And this whole time, Gabby's just being very sweet to her and everything. She's not being rude or anything. I was very surprised. I was definitely very surprised that Gabby was not being rude to her. Because I can't recall a time in Jenna's life where Jenna's met up with a girl that Matty likes and she's not a, she's not a bitch to her. I mean, Eva was. Devin, we have no idea what happened with Devin. Honestly, Devin was like a one-time thing. So, when Matty dated Devin, he wasn't with Jenna, so obviously we had no interaction between the two of them. But as far as Sadie goes, I mean, Sadie and Matty are best friends, and of course, Sadie hates her to death, so, she's pretty used to basically everyone just trashing on her all the time. She's pretty used to that. So I thought it was interesting to see, Gabby not be like that. I thought that was definitely really cool, and I definitely really enjoyed that. So basically, Jenna says he'll text Tamara to pick them up, and we'll go by her house, and basically they lift a bottle of tequila he likes from her parents, and she thanks Jenna sincerely. And then at practice, Jenna is hating, Sadie is hating on Tamara's cheers because they're really just too nice. Tamara's being way too nice here, and she says it's not mean enough, and Sadie says she's a bulldog. Tamara had, this cheer about, girls being unattractive. I thought that was really funny. And I love this line. Sadie's like, I'm a bulldog, you're a chihuahua. I thought that was really funny. And Tamara then gets a text to pick the guys up at a strip club and says she can't go alone. And she asks the bulldog to come along. And Jenna gets a big envelope from Lockhart University, and she thinks that she got in. She definitely thinks that she is in. But when they did that, anytime the show makes it think like something good's gonna happen, we know something bad comes out of it. I knew that she probably was not gonna get in. I knew that for a fact. I'm like, okay, I would not say that this is going to be her acceptance letter because I didn't think she was gonna get in personally. Just because whenever the show makes us think something's gonna happen and good happens, whenever Jenna thinks that, it doesn't end up happening. So I knew pretty much that she wasn't going to, and we'll talk about that in a second. But meanwhile, the girls go over to the strip club, but the bouncer won't let the girls go into the club. He thinks that they are actual strippers. So, Tamara and Sadie get into a very awkward situation. no pun intended, by the way, with awkward. He pushes them onto the stage. The guys cheer on the girls, and they're drinking. And Sadie and Tamara come out. I love the way they handled it. I thought that was hilarious. Sadie, crawls over to Jake, and she's like, "You're coming with us now." And Jake's like, "I'll come with you." And she's like, "No, come with us, right now." And I thought that was really funny. And then she tells Matty about a surprise party, and they grab their stuff to go. And I thought that was just really funny the way they handled it. I personally really enjoyed that. And I love seeing, even though Sadie and Tamara hate each other to death, I love seeing them bond over something. There are very few times when Sadie will bond with a character, and I really love when they do that because it's really funny all the time. Whenever, and especially when Sadie and Tamara. Whenever it's Sadie and Tamara, it's absolutely hilarious to watch, and I love that. So, Jenna's telling Gabby that Tamara texts and they'll be there any moment, and Gabby tells everyone to hide, and she hides near Jenna. And she thanks her help for the party, and I thought this was very interesting. We actually find out that Gabby was kind of jealous of Jenna. She thinks, she thought Jenna didn't want to come to the party because she thought it was lame, and she tells Jenna because, Jenna's the creative one and that she's boring, but Jenna says that she's not, and I thought this was definitely really good. I really love that we found out that, yes, Gabby is a good girl and that we can actually trust her. I really like that. So Gabby tells her that Matty respects her and that she genuinely likes her. And, Jenna says she was wrong about her. And I thought that was great because we see that Gabby really does care about Jenna. She thinks of her as a good friend. And she kind of thinks that Jenna, in the long run, is the better girlfriend. Which I thought was definitely really cool that they were showing that. Because I don't think there's been many times where, someone's actually thought that Jenna was better than them. I don't think there's ever been a time with that, and I think it's really cool. I like that they're doing that, and I was very impressed by that, definitely. I thought that was really good. So they all wish Matty happy birthday. He opens his presents, goes through the mail, he sees a small envelope and picks it up, and the second he saw it, I'm like, okay, that is probably the letter from his birth parents. And Jenna then tells her that, she tells Gabby she got into Lockhart, and Gabby congratulates her. Then Sadie and Tamara do a cheer, and I thought this was great. Jenna's like, "Are you two friends?" Matty's like, "Are you two friends now?" And Jenna's like, "Yeah, we are." And then we see Sadie and Tamara do a cheer, and Jenna's like, "Are you two friends now?" And they're like, "Oh, no, never." I thought that was great. I thought that was a great way they do that because, when it looks like they're going to be friends, they're always going to be enemies, and I love that. I definitely think that in the season finale, we're going to see that, yeah, they kind of are friends in a way, if you think about it. They are pretty much friends. So, Jenna says the party is great and was all Gabby, and she's happy that she and Gabby are friends now, and tells him she has to take off, and Gabby thanks her again. Jenna says anytime and leaves. So she shows Lacey the envelope, and she says that she's proud. And Lacey says she didn't know how she would react, and shows Jenna the letter, and I thought this was a very good twist. I love this twist. I thought this was very well done, because here's the thing I loved here. If you remember last year, Lacey kind of had that storyline where she was trying to figure out what to do after Jenna left high school. She was starting to realize that Jenna is going to be in senior year last year, so she became the nurse, and then she tried to do other jobs, Throughout the whole show, she's tried to get a decent job. She hasn't gotten one. So, what she has ultimately decided to do is to apply to college, and she got in. So, I thought that was great because finally, Lacey has found something that she can do. She can kind of start over. I thought that was really good. But Jenna's mad. Obviously is kind of mad at her that this happened because Jenna, of course, has a small envelope, which, of course, when you get small envelopes, that's the one that carries bad news. So, of course, we find out that she got rejected, which I predicted, when she said that she thought she got in, I knew she wouldn't. And her mom's sitting outside her door, and Jenna wants nothing to do with her. She's really pissed. She tells her leave her alone, says she's tired of her mom overstepping boundaries. And I can see where Jenna's coming from. I mean, here's the thing. All her life, Lacey has been up in her business. Really, all her life. I understand she's her mom, but there comes a time when she needs to step back a little bit and let Jenna deal with things on her own. I understand that Lacey wants to be the cool mom and really thinks of herself as kind of like Jenna's, one of Jenna's best friends, doesn't really want her to think of her as a mom. But there comes a point where she needs to learn that she needs to there's a thing called boundaries, and she needs to have them. And I think that definitely is very good that Jenna said that. And I definitely agree with Jenna saying there, that she needs to learn that Jenna needs boundaries, and she has boundaries, and she deserves them. So I thought that was definitely really good. And then the very last scene in the episode, I love the scene, thought this was great. Matty knocks on her bedroom door and says he needs a drinking partner. He asks what's wrong, and she tells him that Lockhart rejected her, but accepted her mom. She says she needs a drink and hands her the bottle of tequila. and they chug, and she eats chocolate, and then it's like, oh my god, those two do not go well together. I thought that was really funny. And Jenna says the only reason, and I agree with what Jenna says here, it is kind of true if you think about it. She talks about how the only reason he liked her sophomore year was because she'd have sex with him. And she says he dates Gabby out in the open and is waiting for her, but that wasn't what he was to her. And I agree. And I kind of think what the show is trying to show is that Jenna and Matty, they're not getting back together. They're not going to. They were high school sweethearts for a year. They thought that they were the power couple on the show. And I really like that the show is showing that, no, they're not the power couple of the show. They're really not. In fact, Jen and Matty really are not a power couple. They're not. All they are two really good friends, and I definitely really enjoy that. I like that the show is trying to show that, you know, someone who you think is your lover and everything, someone you're going to love forever, is really just your best friend, and I definitely really enjoyed that they show that here. And, basically, you know, she says she's not blaming him, but that's the truth, and Matty says he came to thank her because he knows she helped Gabby with the party, but didn't get any credits. And he opens the envelope, and it turns out, yes, it is his parents' birth names. He opens it and reads that his mother does not want to be contacted, but his father's name is in there. And I forgot what his father's last name was, but it was kind of funny. You know, he says maybe his name wouldn't even be Matty. I thought that was funny. I mean, not funny, but that was a good scene. So he says he's in Portland, Oregon, and I kind of thought that maybe Matty was going to maybe track down his father and maybe find out what's going on there. But I don't know. Maybe in the finale we might have him encounter his father. I feel like Matty's just going to do that. I feel like Matty's thing is that he wants to find out who his father is. Obviously, he wants to. And I think that, you know, maybe in the finale, maybe Matty is going to decide to maybe move to Oregon to meet up with his father. Maybe that's what he's going to do, because he doesn't seem to have much of a college plan right now. He doesn't really seem to. And, you know, if his main mindset here is to track down his father, then so be it, if that's what he wants to do, and I'm fine with that. So, he thanks Jen for being there with him when he opened it. He kisses her, they fall back onto the bed, and it looks like they're about to have sex, but she says the rules say you can't make out with your best friend's boyfriend, and Gabby's a really cool girl, and he agrees, and I thought that was great. I thought that was great what she said, because basically they're not going to have a hookup. They kind of did hook up, though, and it looks like in the next episode, they're going to try to not tell Gabby about it, which I think is definitely going to be interesting to see. And overall, guys, I love this episode. This was the best episode of the season. Let me know what you guys saw this episode. And I do have a couple things I want to talk about. First of all, we have 2 episodes left of this season. And again, guys, I like that this season, as I've said before, there's not a whole lot happening. It's just like a fun show, really, right now. Lissa, we did not see in this episode. I don't know if we're going to see Lissa for maybe not till the finale, because there's no Lissa in the promo for next week either. So my question is, I didn't actually see the promo for next week. I'm gonna actually, yeah, I saw it. I did see the promo for last week, but there's no Lissa in it. It looks like it's just gonna be Gabby, Matty, and Jenna next week. That's gonna be the plot. Is Gabby going to find out about Matty and Jenna's almost hookup? Is she going to find out about that? Is this going to ruin her friendship with Jenna? I really hope it doesn't. I hope the show doesn't do that. I hope they keep them friends, because I like seeing these 3 as friends right now. I do like seeing them close friends, and I definitely like seeing that, because I think they're really good as friends, definitely. Jenna and Matty, I like seeing them as friends. I do. I think they're actually better as friends than they are as a couple, in my opinion. Now, yes, if I have to say go-to friend for Matty, I do prefer Matty and Sadie, but I do love Matty and Jenna as friends. I think they are very good friends, in my opinion. Sadie and Tamara, I love seeing what was going on with them in this episode. I thought that was really funny. Is Matty possibly going to track down his father in Oregon? I do feel maybe he'll do that. What do you think's down with Lacey? Is Lacey going to try to maybe, like, reject her letter? You know, is she gonna maybe say, look, I don't want to do this, and, you know, we'll have to see what happens there. Obviously, Jenna's not happy with her, so there's definitely gonna be some tension there, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen there. But overall, guys, that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys saw this episode, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for either my review of the mini-series of Olive Kitteridge. I don't know if I'm gonna finish that today. I did start it. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it, though. Or for my review of tonight's episode of Arrow. So I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.